Yes, yes, yes. You are tuned in. You are watching. We are live. GBKM FM, Great Benin Kingdom Media. Welcome. All right. Welcome. You are now tuned in. You are listening to Everything Relevant, Anything Random, live on GBKM FM, the mouthpiece with your host, Sir Worthy. He is I am him. How's everybody doing out there tonight? I hope you're enjoying your night just as well as I am. Now, this has been my home for the past, it's been over a year now. Yeah, last month made it a year. So you guys know every Wednesday, this is my home, all right? 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. delivering this content to you, okay? Shout out to my team, my staff, my family over here at GBKM FM for giving me this platform and opportunity to display my many talents, of course. Geez. What do we do on Everything Relevant, Anything Random? Well, for everybody who's new and tuned in listening, on this show, I like to discuss the news, politics, pop culture, great debates, interviews, great guests. Sometimes my guests want to stop by and just talk about something that's passionate, and you guys should know. And if you haven't been tuned in, if you're new, you know now. All right? I'm a very passionate person. In fact, I'm way too passionate to pass things up or to let it go, to be honest with you. It's kind of hard. But on this show here, yeah, we discuss pretty much everything. If you would like to get in contact, you would like to be maybe a featured guest on the show, maybe a sponsor, or like to work with some business ventures, here's how you get in contact with me. Okay, first things first. Sir Worthy ILC. All one word. All social media platforms. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever it is, okay? Sir Worthy ILC. Don't be afraid. Send a DM. Let's talk business. Now, if you like to get at me formally, then you can also email me at eve@gbkm.fm. That is eve@gbkm.fm. Okay? All right. Now let's start the show. So, today's show is titled From Streets to Strength. Now, as we progress throughout the show, you guys are going to understand exactly why that title is the title. And of course, once I introduce my guests, and for those of you who already know, because you've seen the promo, you heard the promo, then you already understand what's going on here, okay? My special guest for today, all right, listen. This man here, met him, few months ago? But was listening to his words, was listening to what he had to say in his story, and was still was just an iceberg of what he has to say, okay? Not even a quarter of what he has to say, okay? Today's show is going to be something you guys are definitely you're gonna want to hear more of, okay? This man has a story that he definitely wants to share, and it may bring you to some tears, it may bring you to, you're just going to feel something. That's all I could say. Your face may contort in a certain way, but you're definitely going to feel something, okay? My special guest for today, you guys may know, please, if you guys have been paying attention to the hip-hop scene, at least what was been going on in the last 10 to 15 years over here in Toronto. But Sling Dads, the artist, okay? Also known as Marlon Morgridge. I said that right?
Yeah, it's correct.
Okay, make sure I got that, got that right. That's my special guest in today. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Sir Worthy. Appreciate it.
Of course. Your first time being on here on Everything Relevant, Anything Random. But on my show here, it's pretty random. But when I bumped into you at I believe it was the Junction Award.
Yes, it was.
Yes. To me, that was almost random because I was holding a phone for you.
Yes.
Taking a picture with you and your mother.
Yes, exactly.
Right? So it was like I just knew something clicked in my head. It was like, wait, hold on. I think I know this guy. I think like something hit me, I was like, no, I think I know this dude. And that was before I even, was introduced to you by the ceremony by having them call out your name for the award, of course. Yeah. So I guess it was fate. You guys got me chopping up my words here, okay? I'm trying to tell you guys, I'm excited for this story here, all right? But look, to all my viewers, one thing for sure, two things for certain. I almost forgot about this. At the end of every show, if you are not entertained or empowered, you will be informed. If you are not informed or entertained, you will be empowered. And if you are not empowered or informed, you will be entertained, okay? It's a tongue twister. You'll learn it one of the three. You are definitely going to be entertained and informed and empowered with today's show, all right? One thing I do first is a weather report. I gotta update everybody. Listen, summer is coming to an end. Okay, it's closing out soon. We all know summer really ends in September, but let's be real. Summer ends when the kids go back to school. That's really what it is, okay? And for those of us who have kids, we can't wait for summer to end because you know what? My daughters are not in daycare, and I kind of wish for them to be in daycare, okay? So school, hurry up, come back around, get these kids out the house, get them doing something. The weather though is pretty great. Continuing campaign No Complain for the whole summer, okay? Because we complained during the winter, wanting all this heat. Now it's here, and everybody's complaining about the humidity. Listen. Campaign No Complain, all right? Keep your windows down while you're driving or keep them up. Make sure you got that extra gas for the AC. You guys already know what you're supposed to do, all right? Now, let's get that out the way. Let's switch gears. Welcome back, my special guest, because I want to get right into this, all right? Please tell us exactly who the artist Sling that. No, before we get into the artist, tell us who the man is first. Tell us who Marlon Morgridge is, the man.
Well, first of all, the man, Marlon Morgridge, is a man of a father of 3 sons. I'm a type 1 diabetic. I was an ex-gang, I'm a former gang member. There's a lot to say about me. I'm an artist, as you know, and I've been through it all.
Been through it all. Been through it all. Been through the wire. Been, like Kanye said, been through it all. Oh, man. Okay, you wear many hats. So you said you are... Well, I can't lie. The most intriguing thing that you said, it has to be that you mentioned you're an ex-gang member.
Yes.
We need to get into the story as to why you're no longer a gang member and what changed and what impact gang activities and gang life, gang culture had on you and what now you are doing for the community. What are the other hats that you have? I know you're working in the community. What would it be the title that you have?
I'm a community worker.
Community worker. And what exactly do you do in the community?
Well, at the moment, I work with several different organizations, nonprofits, in regards to working with the communities. I have my own nonprofit at the moment called the Morgridge Foundation, which we are basically helping others that's coming home from being incarcerated.
Right, okay.
Rehabilitate back into the community, know how to rehabilitate themselves in regards to adjusting back into society.
Right.
So we also have programs as well in regards to music programs. One's called CARS. The acronyms is CARS for Creating Arts, Restoring Souls. And with that program, we basically have youth that comes into our location, and at that present moment, they would be creating arts. It doesn't have to be music. It could be developing arts in regards to developing, we could say, graphics,
right, okay,
dance,
I like
poetry.
See, now when I hear that, it sounds like you took everything of your background and made it work for you in your future. Because like you said, you were an artist,
Yep.
right? And you here have you're working with nonprofit organizations and the acronym with the cars and creating arts. So it's like, you know, hip hop music, it's an art form. So it's like you're still in the arts, but now you've turned it from just, I mean, to me, rap lyric has always been therapeutic. It's always been counseling. It's always been all of that, depending on who the artist you listen to, and of course the lyrics that you're hearing. But taking it in, listen to someone like you. It's like you're a poet, so you're creating these lines, you're saying these stories, you're sharing your stories, your life, and to the viewers, to the listeners, when we hear it, it's like, oh, okay, it's almost like living vicariously through you, you know? So you went from doing that to now actually getting kids and getting people involved in the community to now be creators and be creative themselves in what they're doing. So it's like, it's such a circle of life of how you can go from being one thing and it can be looked at as like a negative outlook. You have a negative outlook, but then you can hone it, turn it into something positive for everybody else in the future. So that definitely is that. I mean, when I hear that, it's like, you know, it's authentic too, because you know you come from it rather than maybe being privileged and then wanting to help people. By the way, please, people, if you are privileged, if you have millions of dollars, money, whatever it is, don't feel no way about helping people. Help as many people as you can, okay? All I'm saying is when you come from a certain neighborhood, when you come from a certain community and you see someone who used to be a certain way or is something or was something and then turn around and be something else, it means a lot more, you know?
Definitely.
It just registers and resonates a lot more. But tell us, where did you grow up?
Well, originally I was born in Lawrence Heights, which is known as the jungle, but people know me for being from Jane and Chathui. I was
Jane,
raised
sorry to cut you off. Jane and Chithui or Jane and Chichwe?
Jane and Chichwe, Jane and Chithui. But basically it's Chichwe,
Right. Okay.
right? But for those who don't say Chichwe, we'll say Chithui.
Okay.
right?
There we go. Chithui.
Chithui Drive, right? Which is the Jane and Lawrence area, North York, right?
Right.
But yeah, that's where I grew up most of my life. So I would say I come from there, Chithui Drive housing complex.
And what was the environment like growing up for you?
It was rough. It was rough. It's still rough over there. Not as much as when I was growing up there. When I was growing up there in the '90s, it was very hard, man. Single mom, parent, A lot of gangsters from Caribbean islands outside. All we saw was the gun and drugs.
Right. Okay.
So that was the lifestyle. Even though I was into basketball, I needed money as a teenager. Mom's on welfare at the time, and she only can do what she can at the time in providing for me. And, it's in your face.
Right.
So it was like the peer pressure of just making that option of, do I want to get involved or whatever it was. So that's where it took me.
True. True. And you mentioned peer pressure. When did you become self-aware to know that this is peer pressure? Because I find that a lot of youth, they're lost in the sense of they don't even understand what's really happening to them at times. Like they don't understand the magnitude of a situation that they can be in. So a lot of us young males especially, growing up in a neighborhood, we don't even see opportunity. Like we don't. It doesn't register in our eyes. It can be an opportunity, whether it be like a little job that you're doing to just give you some responsibility or something like that. But like just those opportunities, right? When did you become that self-aware to know that, hey, what I'm doing is not what I think I should be doing, and I should be doing something else? Like how long were you?
To be honest, I always knew what I was doing was wrong, but but when did I feel that I should make a change?
Yes,
if that's what you're asking me.
Yes. How long were you, I guess, in the streets for until you decided to make a change?
Honestly, I was in the street for a very long time, man. I could say I started off in the streets 13, like teenage-wise, just when I became a teenager. And I think I finally got out of it when I was in my early 30s.
So we can say a good 15 to 20 years.
Almost 20 years, I would say, deep.
20 years deep.
20
Jeez.
years deep. 20 years deep as a Crip member.
As a Crip member.
Yes, sir.
North York area.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I mean, look at you now. Like, could you honestly say that without those experiences you had, you'd be the man that you are today? Do you think so? Do you think those were necessary to get you where you are right now?
Yeah. I think with anybody's life situation, however they develop in who they turn out to be in regards to what they went through, has to be something that makes them who they are today, I would agree with. But yeah, because the things that I went through and things that I experienced obviously developed me in regards to wanting to do certain things, even though I always had it in me. But it was just a timing frame, I would say, when I made that decision to make a change, right?
Okay. I want to get into your stories, but before we get into those, because they're deep, they're great, I just want to get to know a little bit more about you, like as far as like what are you into now? Like what do you I'm just trying to understand like the mindset of what you had when you were running around in the street versus to now with the kids. Like how did you? I'm here with a tongue twister. I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to say to you, but like. The idea that, listen, I'm not a street guy. I'm just a guy in the street, right? And for you to say that, you were an ex-gang member, like, what is that like to be? What is it like to be an ex-gang member and doing what you're doing, and then now be completely removed from that? Do you ever think about, like, looking over your shoulder? Are you worried about? Sometimes I guess going back to your other side or something that you used to be. Like, are you ever worried about like a relapse like that? Does ever situations arise and things like that?
I wouldn't say relapse. I'm focusing what I want to do,
right,
and what I'm doing. But looking over the shoulder part, yeah, you can always say there's that one percent of me that's gonna always feel that way because I've done dirt, right? I've been charged with attempt murder at one time, right?
Okay.
And I actually was convicted of assault in regards to the charges, right? So, when you do something to somebody, it's never ever over,
Right.
right?
Right.
It may die down, but you know,
Okay. Okay.
but I don't wake up every day thinking that, oh, I should be looking over my shoulder. Like, I'm just aware of my surroundings and aware of the situation that I put myself in as a teenager. I know that at any time things could go wrong.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Sling Dads. Break down that name. What is Sling Dads?
It's a name that I got when I was a teenager. Well, I used to be into slinging. For those who knows what slinging is like selling. So I used to be selling narcotics in my community, and not proud of it, but that's how the name came about. I was into selling stuff and also into guns. So when you hear people say sling, like a slingshot,
Exactly.
slingers,
Hmm.
that was the name. So how I converted to Sling Dads, it's basically the OGs in my area when they would big up a certain person, or when you reach a certain status, you're known as a dads.
Okay. Okay.
So that's how I put Sling Dads together.
Is that more old school? Because I haven't heard that one.
It's an old school
Okay.
thing because, like I said, I'm older, right?
Yeah.
I'm age 40 right now, but yeah, in my teens, that's when you're like, I guess you would more hear top,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
right? But it's
yeah.
like them kind of talks. There.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Because I was wondering about the names. I mean, I had an idea, but I was like, where did the dads come from, though?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't father the neighborhood or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Nothing like that. It's just, yeah, I reached a certain level in my status when I was a gang member.
Hmm.
So, it's from slinger to sling dads.
Okay. So tell me, how do you balance rapping and being in the street when you were coming up?
Well, the street was just a part of my life. That's something that,
So that's just almost regular, like.
yeah, that was regular. That was something that you wake up to, you go to bed to, right? But the rapping now,
Because you were pushing, and you know what I'm saying? Like, if you were just the regular person who just wanted to rap at home by themselves, we wouldn't have heard the music. We wouldn't be introducing you as an artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You took it to you pushed yourself. You have 2 videos on MTV?
it was much music.
Much music?
Yeah.
So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you were pushing yourself as an artist. Like, what how did you find that focus and that balance for that?
To be honest, my peers around me. I grew up with people that was in the industry already.
Okay.
So
okay.
some of my peers that were also gang members was also in the industry, and just being around them, was very motivation in regards to music. Always being around studios, being around rap sessions. We used to
Right.
be in the park, and we'd have like things we call battle drills. So it sharpens up your skills. An artist would be battling another artist.
yep,
It never
yep.
get physical. It was just a sport.
Exactly.
But it became a big thing in our routine in regards to having other neighborhoods come by and get involved and stuff like that. So that's where it started. But yeah, that's
Okay.
it's where it started.
Okay. So who are some of your influences as far as like in the rap game, like rappers you were listening to?
In the city, or just in general?
In general, just who are you listening to?
A lot of Queensbridge.
Okay.
A lot of New York,
So
Queensbridge.
East Coast rap. A lot of East Coast. Okay.
Yeah, that project stuff, because like I said, in the 90s, the projects was hectic, man. Like, a lot of people may think it sounds funny because we're in Toronto and stuff like that, but if you're in those environments back then, you would more understand the living conditions and the way we were living.
Right. Right.
Yeah, with police, undercovers, everything. Everything that you can think of going on in the housing was going on. A lot of people's parents don't know because mommy and daddy's upstairs, right?
Right. 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 So I'm guessing what, like Nas, Mobb Deep,
Nas, Mobb Deep,
Uh,
Tragedy, Gaddafi. Even
Nori,
Noriega,
CNN.
Capone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that whole era, man.
Okay.
That whole era. The Firm.
All right. All right. Any favorites? Because they're going around with these favorite lists now. I don't know if you've been seeing
Oh
them.
yeah,
They have
yeah,
all these top
yeah.
50 favorite lists of everything going on.
Nas
So
is my number one rapper from day one. If anybody's my favorite rapper, I would always say Nas.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay. How old were you when you first heard Nas?
I would say about 13 or 14 when he came out with Halftime.
Mm. I'm not gonna front. Look, I respect Nas. I like Nas a lot. My only quote unquote beef with Nas is I wish he went harder. I wish he went harder because to me, I feel like we would have got artists like Kendrick Lamar a lot sooner if we had seen someone like Nas being in the reins at the top because he is one of the top MCs of all time, right? He's always looked at that. He's in those circles. But I feel like his work ethic never really matched, and it was like almost like he didn't want to even really be bothered with music. More like, let's say he'll do other things, but it was like this music, man, like it reaches people, and when they see that there's like a street smart rapper, it makes everybody else who's like going to school or whatever, or guys who are in the street say, I want to be a little bit more in that lane, because Jay-Z was the flashy guy a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Nas was more like, hey, that's the guy who kind of like kept to himself a little bit. So if he was still at the top winning, I felt like it'll just inspire a generation quicker or faster, because a lot of artists are still inspired by Nas and still came out, but
Yeah.
I just feel like because he's not in that class, like how they mention.
You know what? You know what it is. I think you'd have to be in that era when he was that dude.
Okay.
He was that
'Cause-
dude
okay.
at one time. Like, you know.
Yeah, no, he really was.
He was, but
and that's where he just had a little drop off though. Like,
you know what? But like it's like what you said now. At that time, there was so many hot artists,
Right.
in particular, but Nas still stood out because they always said, "Who's the best MC? Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas." Right? So he always stood out. But like you said, when you have certain labels pushing you at that time, certain people are more to the forefront than certain artists. I
Right.
can't really speak on this situation, obviously,
Yeah.
because
I mean, yeah, and I don't know exactly. I just, for whatever reasons, however it would have got done, I just would have wanted to see Nas drop an album just more frequent and just be more active in the community of rapping. Because I know he's doing things behind the scenes. I know he's working on a lot of projects and things like that, but it's just, just to see him as a rapper, it's like, we got all these flashy guys. We know you get busy and we know what you do when you get busy. So, you're teaching, you're putting medicine in the candy.
Exactly.
So, like if we just had more of that, like I said, I feel like the J. Coles and the Kendricks would have came a lot sooner, or at least, not to say a lot sooner, but just a lot more in abundance. That's just all I feel.
you know what the funniest thing is? There's a lot artists are out there like that, but because of social media, or
Yeah.
I guess in regards to getting them out there noticing,
Right.
or we noticing them,
Yeah.
that's the problem. Because
Right.
certain people introduce certain artists to me, and they've been out, but it's just getting the word.
True. And in this day and era now, like if you're not worldwide, you're not anything. So, I mean, it's easy now for someone to hear your music in Indonesia, hear your music in Germany, hear your music wherever it is, and you made it tonight. So
Yeah.
it's like, in this era now, it's almost like no excuses, especially if you have a label backing you or a budget and all that stuff, right? Before we get into your stories, we'll take a break and then we'll get into that. But as far as like the rap game goes, you have one of my favorite joints. I'm from Jane, and you're even naming like the hoods. You're naming like areas where people are coming from and things like that. And like I always loved that part because it was like we know we're not all from the same community. We're not all from the same block, let's say. But when you hear someone shout out your ends or shout out where you're from a little bit, it makes you feel like, yeah, we're on the map a little bit. It's like almost like a self. It's just a pride thing. It's just like, you feel good about it. It's like, yeah, they mention us. Yeah, they gotta mention us. When we go out and we're doing these events, and whenever would you say the MC of the night comes up and they don't introduce GBKM FM as a sponsor, I'll be honest, I'm sitting there and I'm a little upset, you know? So like when you hear your name, it feels good. So I remember hearing the song and just hearing certain ends and yeah, I'm from there, or yeah, I got people there, I got people there, and it just felt good to that we had something in our own city that we were proud of, because being Canadians, it's hard with rap and music and entertainment, everything, because we're compared to America because we're so close, right?
Yeah.
So I always love to hear the guys that were in the community, because look, rap now is it's a lot has changed, bro. A lot has changed. Like there's
changed.
at least 100 rappers now
Yeah.
coming out that came out this year. You know what I'm saying? Like
maybe this month.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like back then, I was listening to like 5 of y'all. Like you know what I'm saying? And that's how it felt.
Yeah.
So like you know, rap is took a change. What have you noticed, or what do you like? What you don't like about what's going on?
Honestly,
Yeah, how do you feel about the culture with hip hop?
I love the fact that Toronto is being noticed. It's a beautiful thing, you know, because somebody like myself and even others before me, we can say we helped pave that way for
Yes.
the artists of today,
Yes.
right? But every day there's a new rapper, man.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up.
You know, it's hard to keep up with what's going on with who's going to the top in regards to being signed right now, because there's a lot of artists being noticed. And you know, if it wasn't for platforms like We Love Hip Hop and other platforms out there, you know, that showcases artists in the city, you know, a lot of artists won't even be known unless you're going on social media to see their videos or word
Right.
them out, right? So we have to give thanks to people like that that's out there, you know, supporting the movement in regards to hip hop and stuff
Facts.
like that.
Facts.
But what I would say I don't like,
Yeah, what don't you like?
just the regular politics. Like, I like the competition in regards to battling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But politics in regards to, oh, okay, because I'm from this area, I can't work with this artist from this area. That's the only thing that kind of bothers me in regards to this, because if certain artists were to actually link up
Yeah.
and do music,
Yep, we're missing out.
Toronto,
Yeah, we're missing
we're
out
out
on
of
some
here,
stuff.
like, you
yeah.
know? So, really and truly, that's the only thing I would say that's bothering me in regards to the hip-hop industry.
Okay, so people need to come more together. Cause I'll be honest, sometimes like, this is one of my like truths I gotta let out. I've been having a lot of female artists up here, and well, first of all, I love the women doing their thing, but I'm not sure exactly. Listen, I don't have problems with people, but like I'm not sure exactly who and who don't like each other, and those are politics that I don't even want to play. So I just wanted to go after who's my favorites and who are the people that I actually like, and then I'll start getting into people I actually really don't know.
Okay.
Right? I wanted to just get the people that I'm listening to first, give them their flowers, you know, and then get into some more people that I don't know. But as far as like having a guest on from, or listening to an artist from one end who maybe has problems with another end, another block, another community, or whatever it is, to me, I'm just here for the entertainment.
Exactly.
I just want the entertainment, because at the end of the day, that's what the music is. Where a lot of us are getting into making music now because of the dollars, because of how much it actually can make for you, and not necessarily the music, but the opportunities that arise from that. Maybe you land on TV, or you get a clothing deal or something like that. But I'm listening to whoever. You guys got beefs, you guys got problems amongst yourselves. Listen, handle that. But I'm listening and I'm playing anything that I like and that I want. Before we get into your stories, before we cut to a break, do you still rap?
Yeah, I still rap.
You still rap? Like, every now and then you hear some stuff and, you know, you put together some lines?
I have some songs tucked in the closet.
Ah,
you know, I have some
okay.
songs tucked in the closet.
Okay.
I just don't have a release date to set to let
Right.
the people them know. I'm still
Right.
working on some material, some projects. and-
Okay, so we can expect a future project.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Could we
Definitely.
expect it this year? Would you say?
You can expect to see a
Possible, at
maybe
least?
1-2 features.
Okay. All right, that's all.
Maybe
We still got 5
that's,
more months.
That's up to the artists if they want to release those tracks.
Oh, okay. All
Right.
right. Okay. Well, if you guys listen, you guys are watching, you guys are tuned in, you guys are listening right now, please visit GBKM TV on YouTube. Please visit GBKM TV on Facebook, all right? Make sure that you guys are liking the page. Make sure that you guys are commenting. Make sure that you guys are sharing. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If you guys are watching this on Facebook, I would like you guys to comment right now. We need a hashtag. we need to make a hashtag for right now for Sling Dads, future Sling Dads, like something for your new music, for those artists to drop it. Drop Sling Dads. We're gonna come up with a hashtag. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna try to figure out this hashtag. But when we come back, we have a real story that we're gonna share, or sorry, that you're gonna share, and you're gonna talk a little bit more about your truths and your experiences.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back on GBKM FM.
Everyone, my name is Nadej Wedrago Alonso. I'm the founder of AOF Immigration Canada. AOF Immigration Canada is an immigration consulting office. We are located in Mississauga, and we are specialized in all types of immigration matters. So, if you are a student, worker, refugee, or if you desire to sponsor your spouse, please contact us. We will be able to help you. See you soon, and thank you.
Welcome back. You are tuned in. You are listening to, you are watching Everything Relevant, Anything Random, live on GBKM FM, the mouthpiece with your host, Sir Worthy. He is I am him. Special guest in the building. My special guest, Mr. Sling Dads, Mr. Marlon Morgridge. I'm sorry, did I say that right?
Yeah, man.
Morgridge.
Mortgage.
Morgridge, okay.
Mortgage. Perfect.
Listen, Kenny already knows that every episode there's always a word or someone's name I cannot pronounce. I don't do this to make jokes. If you guys laugh, that's on you. But I'm serious. Sometimes I don't know. I guess it's my dialect. It's just hard for me to pronounce some words sometimes. I don't know. But we're back. Listen, you came in. You came in last week. We had a real moment. I even shared a story that I had with someone in my neighborhood that I had to deal with. And you were giving me some great advice on that. In fact, I took that advice. I'm actually going to be delivering my at the end of the show. I always leave the guests with something relevant, but always random. Mm-hmm. And based off the advice that you were giving me, you'll hear it. And I flipped it around a little bit and kind of put my thing on it. But you were telling me you had such a great story. Me and Kenny got to hear about your past and what you had to overcome. And please, I would love for you to share with us, wherever you like to pick up, however you like to do this. Please share a story with us that we need to hear, as to why, you are in the community. Not why you're in the community, but why it's authentic for you to talk about these things when being an ex-gang member and now being a community leader. Like, it's like seeing somebody, like you said, you sold narcotics in the community, and now you are helping out your community, cleaning up your community. So it's
exactly.
It's a complete 180.
Exactly.
So, please tell us how we got to that.
Okay, well, where do I begin?
Take it away.
Man, started off, like, I would say, after Todd Bayless got killed in my community, which is the police officer that got killed in the housing project in '94 at Jane and Trethewey. When that happened, actually, my unit was basically the closest to the incident.
Mm-hmm.
So they felt that I knew something as a child. So they came in my home when my mom wasn't there, recorded me in regards to trying to give them information.
How old were you?
I was 14, 15.
Definitely underage.
Yeah, 14, 15. So, they tried to enforce words in my mouth that wasn't true. But, at that age, I already knew myself in regards to knowing how to deal with law authority, So they subpoenaed me anyway because they felt that I knew something in regards to that case, and which I didn't. And because I didn't cooperate with what they wanted me to say, my life got flipped upside down. They looked at my mom and said, "Remember, you have a son out there."
Mm.
So once they said that, and obviously I didn't cooperate with what they wanted me to say, which was lies, they turned on me. A year later, I was charged with robbery, forcible confinement, use a firearm, and wear disguise. And ever since then, my life was flipped upside down. Year after year, I was charged with a more serious crime.
How old were you when you were charged with your first crime?
I was 17.
17.
Yeah,
Jeez. Okay.
yeah. And then after that, it was drugs, and then after that, it was bigger things.
So you said that they try to basically get you to lie.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. I'm only 14. I'm only playing basketball. I was into basketball. I was like more, middle school playing for like community centers, like Falstaff Community Center, Amesbury Community Center. Wherever I can go and be creative, that's where I was trying to be. And,
Right.
you know, that incident happened. And ever since that incident happened in my community, anybody that's a youth or a male coming up was targeted. You had no choice in regards to your freedom, in regards to this being who you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Say the name of the officer.
Todd Bayless.
Todd Bayless.
Yeah,
Okay.
people know the story if they were in that era. It was 1994, June the 16th. It was a very serious matter. It was a very serious case. I was a little boy at the time. What the hell do I know, But for some reason, they subpoenaed me and tried to make me become an informant for them.
Mhm.
Now, let's just say I didn't have no sense and I cooperated with the lies they wanted me to say.
Right.
What would have happened to me or my family for spreading rumors and lies and still have to
Exactly.
go back to that community, which I have to call home?
You see, that right there is like, I think about that, and what comes to mind is, I don't know if you ever played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
I know the game.
Now, in the first mission, you start the game. The first thing that happens is as you're leaving the airport, police officers come up to you at the airport and basically escort you from the airport. And the whole time they're telling you that, your mother passed away, and they're basically like, trying to scare you into whatever's happening or was about to happen. And then what they do is they drop you in they drop you in a warring neighborhood, in a neighborhood that is warring against you, beefing against yours, knowing that you're not from this area. So they purposely did that. And the plan was, I guess, or behind it, I guess, was all just to get you to be afraid, get you to be afraid, get you to give up information. But it was forceful. It was entrapment. It was all of these things that it's like,
Your life's in danger 100%.
exactly. And it's like, you see the serve and protect on the side of the car, right? On the side of the cruisers. Growing up, it feels more like prosecute and sever at times.
Let's put it this way. Even though what you're talking is a video game, that actually happens, but
That happens.
in different formats.
Mhm.
Put it this way. You end up in jail. They know you're from a certain area.
Right.
Now, not your opponents, but the ops.
Yes.
That's the word they use
Yes.
nowadays. The ops is on the range beside you.
Mm.
They know who you are. They'll just put you with the wolves, and whatever happens to you happens to you. That's just for an example. There's one in a million we can say right
Right,
now, but
right.
just off of what you're saying,
Yeah.
I'm using that as an example of what really actually happens in reality. Right?
Exactly. Exactly. So, 17.
Yeah, 17. That was my first charge, and ever since then, year after year after year, I was charged with a more serious crime.
Do you feel that first one kind of was like a catalyst for the rest?
It was because when I was charged with the first situation, which I didn't do, I was obviously proven innocent of that. But when that situation happened to me, I was actually charged again while I was on that charge. So just having that on my name and then running into the police and then putting something else on, it gives them an opportunity to put something else on you.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So instead of you beating the first thing and becoming free, you have another something else to deal with in regards to a separate situation.
Right.
And then it just continues as a snowball effect.
Yeah.
until you're incarcerated and you're not, you don't have no freedom.
Hard to stay clean once you got a little bit of mud on you, right?
Yeah.
They're just gonna keep try to get you more dirty.
Yeah.
And I hate the fact that that happens. Like the idea that you said you didn't even do it with with the first charge that you.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've sold drugs, but you see, when they charged me with selling drugs,
Yeah.
I didn't sell drugs to no undercover police. Like,
Do you believe in karma?
oh, definitely.
Do you think there was any karma at all involved?
In regards to them, yes and no, because I don't know what's going on in their life now, but
Right.
it's there's a team of them. Not all of them make that decision, right? Somebody is the head honcho in regards of that team.
Right.
And they made the decision, and the team obviously has to just go along with it.
Okay.
So, you want to be angry at all of them and say, yeah, they're all pieces of shit, but really and truly, it's not the truth.
Right.
Some of them actually do care in regards to what they're doing and, trying to serve a community, but let's keep it real now. If they're in a position now and they have a head person saying the orders, they have to go along
They
with
gotta
the
listen,
orders because they can't go against one another in regards to their code that they
Right.
follow.
Right. Okay. 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 So now you wait. You weren't in. Were you in? When at what point in time were you incarcerated?
Every time I go to jail, I'm incarcerated, but it's for how long, right?
Yeah. For how long?
I never really do no heavy time. To be honest with you, I've always did a little bit of dead time.
Okay.
But the last time was the most serious charge. I was charged with attempt murder for actually shooting somebody in self-defense in my community, and it was a crazy time in my life.
How old were you then?
I was actually 18.
18.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not playing when you say year after year now, because you go from 14 with that whole incident, them coming into your home, trying to take advantage of you, basically,
Yep.
to then just being in the community, I guess, being harassed, being pointed out, being singled out at times, and then eventually a charge coming
Yeah, with attempt murder.
with attempt murder.
Yeah.
And you said in self-defense?
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't just go in there and shoot anybody, even though I was a gang member, right?
Right.
That wasn't the plan, to be going out there and hurting
Right.
people. Basically, I was doing what I actually do now, community work. I was...
Okay, all right. You see, here's where listen, are you familiar with DJ Vlad?
Yes.
Okay. For those listening, who don't understand, DJ Vlad is a DJ who I wouldn't even call him a DJ. He's just like a radio interview host. He's just an interview host, and what he does is often sit behind the camera and interview his guests, right? But on his show, often people they give up information so much that they end up getting indictments and getting charges after and things like that. So this is not a DJ Vlad show, all right? We can speak about these things as far as much detail you're willing to give, of course, but we can talk about these things, right?
Yeah, because it's something that it's already been happened and over with. It's
Okay.
like,
All right.
I was charged with this situation. I was
Right.
already convicted of the case, so
Right. Okay.
it is what it is,
Okay.
right?
So you're saying you're 18.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
18 years old. I was actually working in the recreation room in the Jane and Trithuri community, and there's a guy that came into the area that was a threat to the community. He had a gun in his hand wrapped in a t-shirt, and he was looking for individuals to hurt for whatever apparent reason, I don't know. He never looked at me as a threat because he noticed I was wearing the recreation shirt, right? And at one point, when a couple of my friends came out of the recreation room, he pulled his gun out and told us not to move, including myself. So he tried to hold us hostage for whatever apparent reason, and when he wasn't actually focused enough, I kind of slipped away because there was about 4 or 5 of us that was actually standing there at the time.
Right.
So when I kind of slipped away, there was actually a firearm that was hidden in the community center, in the recreation center, which I actually found during the cleanup in the spring when I got hired. Wasn't my gun, but it was a gun that I found.
Okay.
So because I knew it was personally there, I never told anybody, but look what happened now. So I go take up the gun, I came back around the corner, And I looked at him and I said, put the gun down. He spun around at me. We both have our guns in each other's hand. And it's whoever shot first. And obviously I shot first in regards to saving my life and my friends. So when I shot, he fell down. My friend got up. And basically we left the scene. So for a year and a half, I was not charged with the case. I continued to run the wreck. People still continue to bring their children, even though people saw me do this crime. Because they know me, I wouldn't just go and shoot somebody unless my life was in danger.
Right.
Or, regards to saving somebody else's. And, apparently I was charged with attempt murder.
And you say a year later.
A year and a half later.
A year and a half later.
Yeah, a year and a half later I was charged with the crime. I was charged with a co-accused and we pleaded to a lesser charge. And that was the end of it. Because it was a self-defense case. Like I said, he came into the area with a weapon. They found a weapon when he got shot. His weapon, actually, right? So they knew he came there with bad intentions anyway.
Okay.
Right? And he was a grown man and we were kids, so.
Okay. And like you said, you were 18 at the time.
Yeah. Just turned 18.
Just turned 18.
A couple months, yeah.
And then from you turn 18, this event happens. A year and a half later,
Yeah, I was charged.
you're now charged.
Yeah.
You end up doing how much time?
I didn't do no time.
You
I just did dead time. Like,
Oh,
when somebody
okay.
gets arrested, they sit down in either
Yeah.
detention center until they get a bail or whatever.
Okay.
The reason why I got a bail very quickly is because I was charged with a co-accused and he was already charged months prior to the situation.
Okay.
And like I said, they heard it was me. They showed this man my picture several times because, like I told you, I kept getting into trouble. So they already had several mugshots of me.
Mm-hmm.
They showed this man and he kept saying no because the vision that he had of me was a person with a different hairstyle at that moment.
Okay.
So when he's looking at the picture, he's not saying it's me. But then when he actually saw me in the flesh, that's when I was arrested.
So, okay. He saw you in the flesh.
Yeah, how that happened was basically like I said, the cops already got the word that it was me. But they didn't know how to make me get charged.
Right.
Because they kept showing this man my picture and he
And
kept saying no. So what they did was subpoenaed me to the courthouse.
Yep.
When they subpoenaed me to the courthouse and I walked in the courthouse, he was sitting right there. He looked at me and identified me right there. So they courted me, charged me with attempt murder, threw me in the car. Next thing you know, courthouse, detention center, dead time.
How long of a dead time?
3 weeks. Nothing big. Nothing that anybody else can't do. Nothing to say I'm proud of, but at the end of the day, it was a self-defense situation, So what am I supposed to do?
Right.
It's either sit in the jail for the 3 weeks or sit in a graveyard, right?
Right. Jeez. And that's 19, 20, 20-ish at that point.
Yeah, 19 was when I got charged.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, and you didn't even touch the 20s yet. So then, at what point do you get back into the community? Well, no, you're working the whole time, actually, you said, right?
I was working.
Yeah, because you said people kept coming.
Yeah, that whole summer, like when the shooting went down, I was still 18, right?
Right.
So the program ended that summer. After that, I didn't do the program in that community again.
Okay.
Like I continued doing my job until the summer ended.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because, I was just trying to figure out, like, okay, so what route do you take after now being charged with attempted murder, sitting down for 3 weeks, coming home? Now, like, where's your mind state now? Are you still in this? You're still in the street. You're still going hard. You're still.
Heavily.
This is not affecting you? Like how?
Heavily.
How are you taking this?
Heavily, because really and truly, when this guy got shot, he wasn't having it. Just like anybody else who would get shot, they're not just really gonna take that. They want revenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is not this era. It's not in the 2000s. This is in the 90s, right? So. Yeah, this guy wanted revenge. He'd come around the area looking for me and my friends every day, trying to get revenge. And it came to the point that he tried to run me over several times. Like trust me, I can go on for days. I know we don't have enough time to to
Oh,
go into all
jeez.
of that, but like I said, it was a rough time in my life, man. It's nothing I'm proud of, you know. I'm glad that it's over. You know, it was an obstacle I had to overcome. I had kids after the fact, so you know I had to create a family because at the same time I felt that I was gonna be killed. I'm my mom's only child. You know, I made decisions that she did not want,
Mm-hmm.
and basically got her involved in regards to police knocking her door, harassing her for me.
Right.
And you know, my mom didn't need that stress. So once the case was over, I was convicted of assault. I was kicked out of the house, metro housing area where I grew up. My mom was still living there because I was of age. They gave her the option that either you leave with your son
Or you
or your
stay and
son
your son leaves.
leaves
Okay.
because he's of age. Which
So
I
if you were young, if you were 16, you and mom would have to leave because
more than likely, more
Okay.
than likely,
All right.
more than likely, because like they said, I was 18.
Right. You
And
should be able to fend
I
for
can
yourself.
fend for
like,
myself
yeah.
at that time. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Jeez. Man. So, like, how are you handling what's your mental? What was your mental health at? Like, where was your mental health at? Like, where was your mind state at? Oh, this is happening.
Waking up in cold sweats, thinking that I'm gonna be killed by this gentleman, thinking I'm gonna be killed by childhood friends that I had arguments and disagreements with. Think I'm gonna be killed by the police for not cooperating with them in the past. Because even after my conviction of assault,
Mhm.
there was an incident that happened in my area. Other than that, that they wanted me to give information for
Mhm.
that I didn't have no information for.
So once again,
So
we're
once
back in that when you're 14 years old, where they want something from you.
not 14. This
Wait,
is when
No, I'm saying this is like back to
Yeah, yeah,
how you when you were
it's
14
similar-
and
it's
they
similar,
yeah
it's
similar. They
similar.
want something from you that you obviously don't have.
exactly.
So now it's okay. You're not gonna give us what we want. We're gonna figure out a way to.
This is the most dangerous one, and I have to say this part because I need to say this part. So basically, what had happened was I was in my community. I just recently was convicted of assault in regards to that same crime in the area, and I'm banned. I'm banned from metro housing in that area.
Right.
I can be at the intersection. I can be around the area, but I can't be on the metro housing property, or my mom will be evicted.
Okay.
So basically, I'm in the area. I parked up, and the cops know my car. So I went to my car with one of my childhood friends. They're sitting there watching my car. As I jumped in the car and I lift up my head and I look forward, I seen them looking at me, packed up, like about 5, 6 of them in a car.
Mhm.
So I said to my friend, you know what? Let's get out the car because they're gonna come harass us. As I jumped out the car, they zoomed up, grabbed me and my friend, started harassing us. The first thing they said to me, "What's going on with the attempt murder?" So I looked at them and I said, "Listen, that's all over with. I'm done with all of that." They're like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I'm on probation." They asked to see my probation papers. They realize I'm really on probation. So they're pissed off now. So they're asking me about a certain individual from my community, and basically, like I said, I didn't have no information to give them.
Right.
But apparently my car was involved in the situation to them.
To them,
To them.
this is you just coming to the neighborhood and parking.
My
up,
car was
but-
parked in the
Oh,
neighborhood.
you sorry. Yeah, your car's
and
okay.
a situation happened by my car. They arrest an individual, so they think I have something to do with this situation.
Right.
So to make a long story short, they're looking for an individual, which I don't know where this person is, and even if I did, I wouldn't tell them. That's not my business. I had nothing to do with this situation. Why are you putting me involved? Right?
Right.
So, because I didn't give them the information that they wanted, 3 hours later, I'm standing with my friends in the community, about 6, 7 of us. These guys pulled up erratic, like they're gonna run over somebody. Everybody splits. Normal thing, right?
Yep. Yep.
I walk away, but before I walk away, these guys jump out the car, grab an individual, arrest him on the spot, looked at me, put their hand up like this, and said, "Marlon, thanks for the information."
That's that setup right there. That's that setup.
Just
right there.
because, like I said, they're looking for an individual that their job is to find, and because they assume that I had something to do with that situation, this is what they did to another individual that has nothing to do with nothing. and looked at me and in front of the streets, mind I tell you, people were there and said, Marlon, thanks for the information.
You already know what's everybody's whispering and saying from that point.
I had to leave my community. I had to leave my community for the fact that I just beat an attempt murder case, and to them that was already suspect. And now you did this to me. What do you think the streets were saying?
Yep. Calling you a snitch.
And then it all falls back into regards to what they said to my mom when I was 14. Remember, you have a son out there. So I had to leave my community. If I didn't leave, then I wouldn't probably be here right now speaking with you, my friend.
That's how real it is. That's how real it can get. What impact do you want to leave on the kids, on the youth?
Always to stay focused and strive hard, man. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. It may be dark what you're living in right now, because a lot of people are living in dark times right now, depending what they're living. But you gotta stay focused. You gotta have prayer. You gotta stay focused. Even though, let's keep it real, some people stay focused and it doesn't turn out the best for them. You gotta keep it real. Not everybody's gonna get the rainbow, right? But the main thing is, if you know you have a dream, you have a focus that you want to do, you want to have mentors, you need people to talk to, call those people, man, because believe it or not, it helps and it goes a long way. You know what I mean? Even if you want to call me, you can call me. I'm down to, be a mentor to all the youth them out there in the city, priority neighborhoods. I've been through it. I look young. I'm actually 40, but trust me, I've been through the ups and downs, left, right, and center. You know what I mean? So really and truly, when it comes to music, when it comes to people to talk to, when it comes to programs, resources, I'm that guy. I have my own foundation, the Mortgage Foundation, right? You can call me at my phone number 647-706-3290. My email is mortgage.m@gmail.com. I don't know if there's any way you can post these things. I also have my business card here, so we can also get a hold of me, man, either through Sir Worthy.
Yes. So do you have Instagram?
I have Instagram, Sling.
And Facebook and
Yep,
all that?
Sling_dads.
There you go.
DADZ at the end.
I did see you on LinkedIn.
Yes, I am. Marlon Sling Dads Mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, just hit me up. I do a lot in the community. I don't just, do music, you know what I mean? I do a lot of events too. And oh yeah, by the way, this August the 31st, we're going to have a big barbecue in the Warden and St. Clair area, which is the Cataraqui Crescent area. So if you're in the area, come on out with your kids and come and support the community in regards to the barbecue. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of video games with regards to video game trucks, entertainers performing, spelling bee, all kind of stuff that's going to be happening.
Sounds great. August 31st?
August the 31st, Warden St. Clair area, which is Cataraqui Day.
That's a Sunday, Saturday?
It's a Saturday.
Saturday. Okay.
Yeah, it's put on by the original members of Block 13. Shout outs to them. And shout out to Elaine also from Ghetto Stories, getting higher educated to teach others. I'm part of that team as well.
Getting higher educated to teach. Say that again?
Getting higher education to teach others.
There you go. There you go. I like that one. And what was the CARS acronym you had again?
Creating Arts, Restoring Souls. That's the
Creating
music
arts,
program.
Restoring souls. I like that. I like that a lot. So yeah, you told the people where they can reach you at. My man, thank you for coming through. We wanna post up your card. Like, please, people, if you guys listen. I know it's hard sometimes for you guys. You guys are listening maybe on the TuneIn app. Hopefully, many of you went to www.gbkm.fm, the website, and downloaded our app. Okay, we have an app you can take on the go. Listen to all of our programs on the go, on the move, wherever you are. Please, we do live events, we do live events, red carpets, a show every week, shows every day. Make sure you're tuned in, make sure you're keeping up, okay? I run into people all the time who say that they already listen to GBK MFM programming. Thank you. But I also run into a lot of people who are like, no, I actually haven't heard of GBK MFM. Well, guess what? Now you're introduced, okay? Tell a friend to tell a friend, share. That's all we're trying to do, okay? We are the, how do we say it? The mouthpiece. And we're the mouthpiece for a reason, because of things just like this, okay? I reached out to this artist, not just an artist. I know him first as an artist, but I reached out to this man because I knew what without even knowing his stories, I knew he'd be a great guest for GBK MFM platform, because he's in the community. All right, so we're giving him a platform to display and to reach out to everybody, raise awareness, just have this conversation, open dialogue, open whatever it is. Okay, he gave out his number. You got the Mortgage Foundation. Let's help him out. Let's do what we can. One hand wash the other, both hands wash the face. Right?
Yeah, any sponsors out there, anybody who want to donate stuff, because I also do clothing drives. We do drives annually every year in regards to clothing, food, back to school. As you know, back to school's coming up. So any type of help I'd appreciate in regards to giving back to the community and the kids. It's all about the youth, man, and changing lives, you know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all listening, and, you know, I appreciate Sir Worthy for having me on the show as well, you know?
No, of course, of course, of course. Now it's that time where I leave you with something relevant but always random, or something random but always relevant. And this is something I took from you. I wanted to say this before we get out of here real quick, but there are street battles and legal battles. You need to figure out who you're dealing with and handle your situation. I recently have a situation in my own neighborhood that I'm currently handling right now, and in my head I was thinking about having a street battle when, after having a talk with, of course, Kenny, my boss, but having a talk with Marlon here, I then come to realize that this is not a street battle. This is not something I should approach in that manner, because it can then just land me in a bunch of legal trouble. So this is a legal battle, and those are the courses and those are the actions that I'm taking. I've already gotten talks and I've already started, and that's what I'm doing now to handle my situation. Next week, I don't want to promise, but next week we'll probably get into that. I do have some guests on next week, so maybe not, but we will talk about that, and I'll let you guys know exactly about that. But once again, I just want to thank my guests. Thank you, my brother, for coming on.
Thank you.
Please, you need to come back on. We can share some more stories, talk about what else you got going on.
I'm also a two-time college graduate, so recently, this year in April 2019, I just graduated from George Brown College as a community worker. 2014, I graduated at Seneca in independent music production, applied arts and technology. So all around, you can hit me up in regards to anything. I'm basically...
I like that, well-rounded.
Yeah, well-rounded, and, you know, I can touch any type of flex when it comes to the youth. So, you know, don't just look at the appearance and judge by its cover, right?
Right. Can't judge a book by its color.
Right.
Definitely. A cover. Definitely. Before we get out of here, just want to remind everybody, 2019, 8th Annual Afro Carib Fest, okay? All right? I need you guys to remember that. It's an 8th annual. That means we've been doing this 8 times, okay? All right? Celebrating our diversity, all right? It will be Saturday, August 24th and Sunday, August 25th. 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Albert Campbell Square. That is 150 Burl Drive, Scarborough, okay? And we will be live on location, GBK MFM, all right? We are the mouthpiece, all right? We are going to be live on location. You're definitely going to see me. So please, if you're watching the show right now, all right, leave a comment saying, hope to see you, Sir Worthy. I like when people engage with me, okay? Thank you.
I'm going to be there too.
There you go.
So if you want to get a hold of me even at that event, look out for me. I'll probably be with Sir Worthy or just doing my own thing.
There you go. There you go. Check us out. Look for us. Now, we're going to have a tent set up so you'll be able to spot us, all right? Now, to all my viewers, one thing for sure, two things for certain. At the end of every show, if you are not entertained or empowered, you will be informed. If you are not informed or entertained, you will be empowered. And if you are not empowered or informed, you will be entertained, all right? Thank you guys. I'll see you guys next week. Please tune in, watch every other show that we have, not just Sir Worthy's. See you guys next week.
Quality content, and I implore you to support them, because we need more of this community-based quality content where they're really asking the questions that matter for real life matters. Paris Black for GBKM FM. Hi, I'm Paris Black, coming to you from GBKM FM. Had a great experience being interviewed by Darlita Boss on the Real Life Matters show. These people, and Darlita doing the questions and Kenny doing pretty much everything else in the studio, it's really quite amazing seeing the quality that's coming out of this show, because these people are dedicated to doing quality television, quality content, and I implore you to support them, because we need more of this community-based quality content where they're really asking the questions that matter for Real Life Matters. Paris Black for GBKM FM. Hi, I'm Paris Black, coming to you from GBKM FM. Had a great experience being interviewed by Darlita